Hey everyone, today on People Now, we are recapping Victoria F's moment of truth, plus the fiery confrontations between the women of The Bachelor. It's from last night's Tell-All episode.
I didn't come back for petty.
That's exactly why you came back.
Also today, Bachelor Nation, friends and fans of Tyler Cameron show support as he mourns the sudden death of his mother.
Plus, Andy Cohen and more stars pay tribute to Inside the Actors Studio legend James Lipton after his passing.
Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner opens up about married life with Joe Jonas and her favorite part of being a Jay sister. It's all in a new interview.
And
you must have done something to piss someone off.
Altered Carbon Season 2 is out, and star Simone Missick tells us about teaming up with Anthony Mackie for this new installment.
It's all live today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Good to see you guys. Here we go.
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday, and there's a lot to get to today. Bachelor stuff's off the hook at this point.
I know.
Like, the Women Tell All was amazing.
With everyone talking all at once
Yeah.
and everything.
We're going to begin with a shocking reality moment. Monday night's episode of The Bachelor unfolded in two parts. First, Victoria F was sent home during this week's rose ceremony. And then second, Peter Weber's exes convened for the Women Tell All. And there, Victoria F landed in the hot seat with host Chris Harrison. After tearfully admitting that she was more frustrated with herself than with Peter, she was then forced to address the question that has been on everyone's minds. Some of us in this room knew about this long ago because you read spoilers and tried to ruin it for all of us.
I did not try to ruin it.
I wasn't even naming you, but it seems like you might have been one of those people. Anyway, you might remember that during her hometown date with Peter, an ex-girlfriend of Peter's dropped by, just kind of popped in, and claimed that Victoria F had broken up many relationships. Chris Harrison then asked her about that on the spot. Take a look.
So to be clear, have you broken up marriages?
Absolutely not. And I think it's just hard to have this, guy that I'm dating who could potentially be my husband now think that about me. And once that's out there, people think that about you.
She's right. I mean, it's kind of like the type of thing that is hard to move on from, especially when it's on a national platform like this. It was nice that she got the moment there to give her side of it, to kind of clear the air from her perspective anyway.
From her perspective.
From her, okay. Conspiracy McGee. Here we go. Stay with us. We've got more from Monday night's episode of The Bachelor. We're breaking it all down with Frozen on Broadway star and Bachelor Nation superfan and one of our favorites, Patty Murin. Stick around for that.
And as we gear up for next week's Bachelor finale, the latest promo shows Pilot Pete's mom begging him to bring her home in a very emotional way.
What's it sound like?
Bring her home. Okay, who do you think she's talking about? Hannah Ann, Madison, or someone else? Tweet us
Gonna
at
be Hannah
People.
B.
Yeah, tweet us at People with the hashtag People Now. We're gonna check in on those results in a little bit. For now, we're moving on to this.
All right, People has confirmed that Queen Elizabeth hosted her grandson, Prince Harry, for lunch at Windsor Castle on Sunday. It was their first meeting since Harry and his wife Meghan Markle relocated to Canada with their 9-month-old son, Archie. Royal sources deny that the meeting was a top-level summit. They say that it was more along the lines of a grandson having Sunday lunch with his grandmother, as you do. In January, the Queen did hold a royal family summit at her Sandringham estate, along with her son Prince Charles and grandson Prince William. That was to reach an agreement for Harry and Meghan's decision to step down as working royals. That royal exit is set to take effect on March 31st. As part of their final round of official royal duty, Meghan and Harry will attend the Endeavour Fund Awards on Thursday, marking their first joint public outing in the UK since relocating to Canada. The couple will also be at the Mountbatten Music Festival at the Royal Albert Hall on March 7th. Meghan will take on her own engagement on Sunday, marking International Women's Day. That's before the pair reunite with the Queen and the rest of the royal family for the annual Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey on March 9th. And all eyes will be on them for that event, no doubt. This comes as Harry's brother Prince William and Kate Middleton touched down in Ireland on Tuesday for a packed 3-day tour. Dressed in coordinated outfits with touches of festive green, the royal couple kicked off their tour by visiting the President of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, before heading to the Garden of Remembrance Memorial. And from there, William and Kate will meet local organizations working to support and empower young people, and we'll hear about Ireland's conservation initiatives. It's all with a focus on the relationship between the two countries, as William and Kate are looking forward to building a lasting friendship with the Irish people. They really do a great job out there doing those official duties. Now we move on to this. Watch.
Cool. Yeah! Watermelon!
So adorable. All right, so Kim Kardashian West, excuse me, had to swallow there, is addressing claims that her daughter North copied the young internet sensation Zaza during that performance at her dad Kanye West's Yeezy fashion show. In an Instagram comment, Kim explains that North's performance was a last-minute decision and they didn't mean to not give credit where credit was due. So here's a quick snippet of what Zaza's song sounds like to compare. All right, so maybe some resemblance there. I don't know. Kim continued to say North is a huge fan. She's inspired by Zaza. Would love for the girls to meet soon. That was her comment. Kim then went on to give a shout out to Zaza and North on Twitter, writing, "I'm so proud of my Northie. Her first performance had me in tears." She added, "Shout out to Zaza. North hopes you like the remix." So acknowledging it was in fact a remix, or some at least.
And that's great that she then gave credit.
For sure. And Zaza and her team, by the way, had nothing but kind words for the Kardashian West family. And an Instagram story on Zaza's account, which featured a screenshot of Kim's response, they wrote, quote, "All love, all good, and thanks Zaza gang for all the support." After fans on social media spoke out about the song's similarities, Zaza's parents noted that they were not mad, but they did ask that Kim and Kanye show love and support to the original, which makes sense, and they've now kind of done it. Zaza became a viral star last year when a video of her dancing to Water by Schoolboy Q was widely shared on social media. The online attention led to an appearance on Ellen and then a Chicago Bulls halftime show performance.
Wow.
So big things. Big things are in store now for Zaza, who's already killing it. As for North, she's no stranger to the spotlight. At 6, she's already confidently taken up the mic at her dad's Sunday service choir and performed in front of large audiences. So I'm sure we'll hear more from her. All right, former Bachelorette contestant Tyler Cameron broke his silence on Monday about his mother Andrea's sudden death. Tyler posted an emotional tribute to his mom on Instagram. He wrote in part, "Today, heaven gained an angel." As he continues to mourn Andrea's death, Tyler encouraged his followers to tell those you love that you love them, and reflected that his mother will live on through those that she has had an impact on. A source confirmed to People earlier on Monday that Andrea Cameron, a Florida realtor, died after being taken to the hospital on Thursday. On Thursday afternoon, Tyler announced that a sudden family emergency involving his mom had caused him to cancel a group run that he planned to host with Good Morning America, which he had been excitedly promoting on social media earlier in the day. Now, back when he was vying for Hannah B on The Bachelorette, Tyler opened up about his father's serious health problems, telling People in October that his dad's struggles inspired him to get into running in the first place. He added, "It was good family time, good time with my friends, and we all got better together." We, of course, send our condolences to Tyler and his family at this very difficult time. Some more tough news to talk about today. James Lipton's impact on Hollywood is definitely being felt in the wake of his death. Many of those who knew Lipton remembered him as one of a kind. Andy Cohen tweeting that Lipton, quote, "was a warm, meticulous man with a great appreciation of the arts and wicked sense of humor. He was the face of Bravo who delivered us one-of-a-kind interviews with a breadth of star power, superstars. He was always so kind to me. When he found out how much I love Diana Ross, he insisted on taking me to see her in concert. He really cared about what he did. If you got booked on his show, it meant that you had made it and had the talent to back it up. What a good guy. James Lipton will be missed." That was from Andy Cohen. Jeff Daniels tweeted that Lipton made you want to tell him everything. Jane Lynch remembering the time that she worked with Lipton on Arrested Development. She added in part, "He revered actors and the process. What a wonderful guy." Lipton created the memorable and iconic Bravo show Inside the Actors Studio in 1994. It focused on in-depth interviews with famous actors and actresses about their craft and about their careers. Lipton worked on the show for 25 years and interviewed over 200 guests. He stepped down in September of 2018. Now, Ovation TV will be honoring Lipton by airing a special block of Inside the Actors Studio on Wednesday. That begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. The network released a statement saying in part, quote, "We celebrate and honor the great legacy of James Lipton." Ovation mourns his loss and offers deepest condolences to his family, his friends, and his fans. Lipton died Monday from bladder cancer at the age of 93. Really sad to hear about that. All right, Andrea, you have more for us in Star Treks.
Yes, I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with one protective mama. Jade Roper-Tolbert is fed up with internet haters, especially ones who verbally attack her daughter. On Monday, Jade posted screenshots of nasty messages she received on her Instagram story after she shared a clip of her daughter Emmy as a flower girl. After a commenter called 2-year-old Emmy a bleeping idiot, yes really, Jade clapped back. She wrote, "Wrong, I think you meant she's bleeping brilliant, smart, curious, joyful, loving, hilarious, warm, caring, brave, happy, radiant, beautiful, adventurous, perfect in her own way." Jade shared that she blocks out every single inappropriate commenter and added that she would protect Emmy to the end of the earth. It's so terrible that she has to deal with this. Ridiculous. She also said how she's so sick of receiving hateful messages, saying, quote, "There's a lot of hurt in this world, but love is still the answer. Feel for people who feel the need to say these things, especially about a child." Jade took the high road, added that she's sending the haters healing and love today. Jade shares Emmy and 7-month-old son Brooks with her husband and fellow Bachelor in Paradise alum Tanner Tolbert. I mean, I've noticed that she gets a lot of hate on her social media, and it's not fair. I wish people would take their miserable energy elsewhere. You're attacking a child
It's
here.
miserable energy, and yeah, to do it to a kid, it's ridiculous. It's so absurd.
Yeah.
You almost want to just be able to mentally write it off because it's so ridiculous. But as a parent, I can imagine, I mean, obviously, it would be difficult not to be affected by that kind of comment toward your kid.
Oh my gosh, just stop doing it. All right, now watch this.
How many kids do you want to have?
I think it's up to Haley because it's her body.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, that was a good answer, Justin. Justin shared the supportive answer about family planning with his wife, Haley, during a game of Burning Questions on the Ellen DeGeneres show on Tuesday. He also shared during the game what Haley had planned for his 26th birthday, which he celebrated on March 1st. Take a look.
I think my wife did up my house really nicely, and she had a movie playing. It was like this really romantic night. It's not a big deal. I mean, it was pretty cool.
That's a...
Very cute. They are adorable together. In a recent interview with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, Justin indicated that children were possibly in the near future for the couple, saying, "I want to start my own family in due time." However, he added, "I want to enjoy being married for a little bit, go on tour, be married, enjoy traveling with just us, build more of our relationship." When asked what type of father he will be, he said in part, "I'm a Jesus follower. I think I just want to be led by the Holy Spirit." And he continued saying, "We've established so much and figured out what's not important and what is important. Money's gonna come, it's great, and I'm gonna be able to provide a really amazing life for my family," which is incredible. Very happy for them. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us. Simone Missick tells us all about her new gig on Netflix's Altered Carbon. Plus, Patty Murin joins us for our weekly Bachelor recap, breaking down all that happened during the Women Tell All drama and looking ahead to next week's finale. Stick around.
All right, Sophie Turner is Elle's April cover star, and in her cover story, she's revealing why she loves being married. She and Joe Jonas tied the knot in a lavish June 2019 wedding in France. And according to Sophie, not much has changed for them since that day, but it has given her an incredible sense of security.
Yeah, she explains saying, just the word husband and the word wife, they solidify their relationship. She goes on to add, "I love being married. I think it's wonderful. I'm sure we'll have our hiccups, but right now the security and the safety are everything." Such a good feeling.
Yeah, right? Did that change for you?
Absolutely. And there is something, it sounds kind of silly maybe when you read it, but there is something about saying like, "Oh, my wife said da-da-da-da," and you start referring to each other with
so
that.
Official.
Very, very official.
Sophie also remembers meeting Joe for the first time, revealing she brought all of her male rugby friends with her to their London bar date because she was worried he could be a catfish.
Can you
That is
imagine?
so funny. Well, he slid into her DMs. So even though it's the official account, she might thought, I don't know, maybe this is someone from the team.
Is it a weird prank?
Yeah.
And a whole rugby team.
All right,
is hanging
guys,
out.
come on.
And then finally she like gives him the signal, like it's fine, we're good to go. All right, but when Joe and his friend arrived, it was clear that they'd be just fine. She says that they ended up spending the night, they drank, they talked for hours in a corner. Sophie added this, quote, "I wasn't bored, it wasn't contrived, it wasn't small talk, it was just so easy."
Yeah, and she admits she always felt that she was punching way above her league with Joe, and even as his wife, she still feels that way. She gushes over him in the mag, saying he's handsome, talented, funny, charismatic, that she feels lucky to be with him. I will say, I feel like he's a little lucky to be with her too.
Absolutely.
They're on the same level
She
here.
also reflects on what it's like being a J sister. That, of course, is the nickname for Sophie, Nick Jonas's wife Priyanka Chopra, and Kevin's wife Danielle. Sophie calls them built-in girlfriends who can commiserate with her about how crazy the boys' lives are. She says that Nick and Priyanka live 10 minutes away, and even though Kevin and Danielle live in New Jersey, they still see them all the time.
Yeah, Sophie says she can relate to the girls on so many different levels, which comes as a relief because, as she says, you never know about your in-laws.
Could be like a big deal, obviously.
Yeah.
If you get into that, and then, I mean, who knows how it goes. I think they all get along, though. I mean, that whole family, we saw through the Nick's wedding, it seemed like all parts of the family really
And the music videos and everything.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, they're having a great time. The issue is on newsstands March 24th, so check it out. And in more new cover stories, watch this.
Hey, I'm Hilary Duff, and you are behind the scenes at my parents' magazine cover shoot. I am completely honored and excited to be on the cover of the Mother Earth issue. Being a mother is the greatest joy of my whole entire life.
Hilary Duff graces the cover of Parents' April issue alongside 7-year-old son Luca and 16-month-old daughter Banks.
Yeah, in the issue, Hilary opens up about parenting her young kids, including their sweet Couch Time Tuesdays ritual. The rules for that are no TV, no phones, lots of games, lots of laughing. It sounds like a really good way to connect as a family.
Yeah.
Turn it all off.
She also talks about how she's been implementing a greener lifestyle for her family, like swearing off single-use drink cups and zip-top plastic bags. Instead, she's turned to glass containers and reusable silicone bags for stashing snacks and leftovers. She says at first, washing and prepping one more thing seems impossible, but she says she's realized it only takes a little extra time and it makes a difference.
Hilary even owns Happy Little Camper. It's her own Earth-aware brand of diapers and wipes. She's been getting the whole fam in on her efforts. She tries to put more plant-based foods on the table. She says that she makes a point to talk with her kids about being kinder to the planet.
Yeah, the Mother Earth issue of Parents is available now, so make sure you check it out. There you go.
Is. Looking good.
Now watch this.
Actually told me he wanted you for protection.
Any idea for who?
No. But he must have done something to piss someone off.
So what did he say when he hired you?
That he wanted the last envoy. No accounting for taste, I guess.
And you didn't ask any questions.
Why would I? The man was offering to double my rate.
I'm loving the show right now. Simone Missick joins Netflix's Altered Carbon for the series' second season. She actually sat down with me. We talked about everything from working on set in Vancouver to the unique connection that she has with her co-star Anthony Mackie, plus why this role came at exactly the right time. Take a look. So you joined the cast season 2. How'd the whole thing come about for you?
I was sitting in my house shortly after hearing that Luke Cage had gotten canceled and got an audition for this show and got a call from someone that I know from Netflix, and she was like, "We're so sorry that Luke Cage got canceled." I was like, "Well, you never know. I mean, I just auditioned for Altered Carbon." She said, "Oh, did you? That's my show." I said, "Oh, is it?"
This phone call
and she's
became
like,
very valuable.
Right, it became actually quite worthwhile.
Yeah.
And then within 2 weeks, I found out that I booked it, and so I don't know whether it was my dazzling performance or what.
Or the right time at the right place.
Isn't it always the right time?
Well, I mean, no, but it speaks to your work and the fact that Luke Cage obviously is something really impressive, and I want to get to that in a minute. But before we move on from this, let's talk about this character who has this multi-layered kind of feel, right? She has a child with her wife. Mm-hmm. Talk about how important it is for you, or how much you appreciate playing this kind of character and portraying this kind of character.
Man, I think that the fact that this show is set in 2,400 and some odd, what's lovely is that race, gender, sexual identity is not a part of the story. These are just people. So I get to play a woman with a wife who has a son with no explanation of how they got there, why they got there, whether it's acceptable, whether society frowns upon it. It just is what it is. And there's a certain level of freedom in playing a character in that way. And just to be able to tell the story about a woman who is also a bounty hunter and someone that is described as a psychopath and yet has a family. And so a whole other side of her that makes her layered. And you think on the outset, she's just this. And then as the story unfolds, you find out so much more about her.
Which, by the way, I would imagine it would be exciting, but maybe challenging, like, oh, psychopath, family lady, bounty hunter in the year 2400 what and some odd change.
Right.
Like, okay, I mean, what makes her tick, though? What have you found that really makes her tick?
You know, for her, what drives her is her family. She's searching for someone through this whole series, and that is her motivating factor. She will not let them go because she doesn't let anyone go.
I know you can't reveal, obviously, any spoilers, but what are you excited for fans to see this season?
Oh, I think that I am also excited to see the way that the special effects and the fight scenes go. Like, just even in the trailers and in the first few episodes, I saw so much more of the show developed in post, you know, that we're on set and we're like, yes, and then these things will fly into my hand. And then you actually see them in special effects and they're flying into Mackie's hands. You're like, that's the execution.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to see the fights.
You and Anthony Mackie both killing it.
Hey.
So you've got this Marvel connection.
Yes.
Did you guys bond over that at all?
You know what's so funny? I've known Anthony for years. And so when he was cast as Falcon, I think shortly thereafter, I got cast as Misty Knight, like maybe a year or so after. And he was very, supportive, like, congratulations. And then the fans were like, oh, by the way, these characters are connected in the MCU. Like Misty Knight and Falcon, they have a thing. When he becomes Captain America, they have a thing. And so I was like, oh, that would be weird.
Yeah.
And then maybe a couple years later, now this happens. And so it's almost like working with your brother.
It's pretty interesting. We were just saying that last time you were here, you were with the cast of Luke Cage.
Yes.
And you had that incredible role, playing the first African-American female superhero
That was ever drawn.
Yeah. I mean, that's significant. I'm sure there would be a feeling of, you can kind of coalesce around that feeling that we're doing something new
And
that's never
important.
been done before, and it worked.
Yeah, it really did.
So it gets canceled.
Yeah.
You get the call. If you had your way, how would that story move forward? What would be like the next step for that character?
The next step for that character would be the full-on red suit with the full-on gold arm and kick some ass alongside other people in the MCU and then go on to open up her own detective agency, private agency with Colleen Wing and do Daughters of the Dragon. Like that would have been, I think that was what the fans wanted. That would have been the way that I can't predict it any better than they could have.
Well, right. They
Any
got it.
better than Marvel wrote it, you know? So that's what I would have seen.
Where's Maddie? I am so emotionally drained right now.
It just makes me feel uncomfortable. I want to be here so bad. I want to feel chosen.
It's unfair, and I don't like it.
Maybe I didn't go about this week the right way. I don't know.
And then.
Hello and welcome to The Bachelor, the Women Tell All.
It's the reunion show you don't want to miss.
I didn't come back for petty. That's exactly why you came back.
Because all of your favorite women are back.
Ooh, it was a good one. Here to break down Monday night's Women Tell All episode of The Bachelor is People writer and reporter Jody Guglielmi. And from Frozen on Broadway, we have our friend Patty Murin.
Woo!
Welcome. First of all, congratulations. You announced that you're pregnant.
I am pregnant, almost about, I think, 4.5 months at this point, yes.
Yeah, okay, so how are you feeling?
I'm feeling much better now, much better. Yes, I did the whole first trimester I was in the show, which was really great. Just squeezing into the costumes and stuff. And
Well, I saw your post apologize. You were apologizing to everyone that you had been maybe like short with or anything for the past few months.
Sorry if I flaked on you, or if, I didn't see you backstage afterwards or anything.
Right.
But yeah, it was. But I feel good now. It's just so fascinating. It changes every single day, and you're like, what is happening to me?
I just want to know, as from a parenting perspective, do you have like a lifetime subscription to all Frozen merch for like the baby's room?
I would
right?
hope
like,
so.
That would make a lot of sense. That would save you a lot of money.
A ton. We have a lot of hand-me-down costumes from all sizes and all ages.
Okay, so you're good to go.
Like
All right.
friends' kids.
Well,
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank
Very
you very
exciting.
much.
All right, before we get into the Women Tell All, what are your thoughts on Claire Crawley announced as the next Bachelorette? She's from Juan Pablo season. Are you guys happy about this decision?
Yes.
I'm so into it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited that she's a little older. I'm excited that she has some time under her belt in terms of the show. She knows the deal. I think she's gonna be such a pro.
Just think about all the men we're gonna get.
I know.
That's what
I know.
Yes. I'm just so excited.
I want a silver fox.
Yes,
I want a silver fox.
Well, it's gotten to the point where I've been like, oh, he's cute, and then I'm like, oh,
He's
I
23.
could have birthed him. Okay. Like that's not a thing. So that was what I was like. We're gonna be able to drool at men now and like look at men and be like, okay.
Not boys.
So yeah.
Also,
and I'm just ready.
it's pivoting back. We said this yesterday, but it's kind of pivoting back to. I think this is going to be a real love story, like not just
Right.
drama and like, oh, let's see how crazy it can get. It's going to be like, wow, she knows what she wants, they know what they want, and it's going to click.
She's done the falling in love at first sight
Yeah.
thing, and she's also had relationships. So I feel like she'll probably be a little more equipped
Yeah.
to handle whatever is going to be thrown at her.
I love her, can't wait. Let's dive into Monday night's episode. So the big thing was that Madison did in fact show up to the rose ceremony. There was that moment of like, where is she? Is she coming? Whatever. She shows up. She hesitated for a second. Peter gave her the rose, and then she hesitated. Then she took the rose. Jody, why do you think she came back?
I think she really has very strong feelings for Peter. I think she does love him. And she's probably caught up in all of it and is conflicted. Do I stand up for my morals, or do I kind of give in? Is there a way that I can maybe compromise and do both? So So I think she's in it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see her really battle this even more.
But also, she kind of stood up and she stood her ground. Like, she made it through. You know what I mean? She did not do what she didn't want to do. And so maybe that is how she's feeling like, all right, I did what I wanted to do, and then I can move forward with it. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, gosh, she looked so sad at that rose ceremony.
No. Conflicted,
so
right?
devastated. Oh my goodness.
Well, we've never seen a Bachelor say, are you sure?
Yeah, right.
Are you sure you
Like, this seems like maybe you don't mean it.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. So I think what Jody said is right, is that I think she's going to still be really fighting with this and battling it. And, maybe that's why they haven't spoiled it yet. Like, maybe there really is no clear-cut, winner yet. Because it's a life choice, a huge life choice, and a huge, huge decision for her and for him.
And Peter eliminated Victoria F, which actually I was kind of surprised after that. You
Really?
weren't?
Oh, I thought her time was done.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't surprised she went to the. I wasn't surprised she went to fantasy, but I was.
I thought she had the edge over Hannah Ann. I was wrong. What did you think, Patty?
I thought that he wanted to get her to fantasy suites, and then he was like, okay.
Me too. Absolutely. Sorry, that's just truly how it kind of felt.
I think they had a physical connection, and like really, I think he kind of wanted to see what that was and whatnot. But I think I felt his like emotional affection more for Hannah Ann, I think, than for Victoria.
Yeah. Should we talk about Alea? Because it got dramatic as the ladies the women tell all portion of this, it was just on fire from the jump. Absolutely. We start by rehashing all of Alea's drama. Victoria P's story of her didn't really track along. Alea sort of apologized. All the women chimed in.
At the same time.
At exactly the same time. So we don't know who apologized, or maybe they're just talking. Jody, what was your take on the moment?
I've always been Team Alea.
Justice for Alea.
Yeah, justice for Alea. I think I loved when she was like, guys, like, you know me now. I'm just as annoying in real life as I was on the show. I was like, that's a real girl. So I loved it. I thought she stood up for herself, but was respectful about it. So I was here for it. Justice for Alea all day.
I want to see her again.
I know.
I'm obsessed.
Well, for sure. She was born for it.
Okay, then the Tammy drama. So it took up a lot of the episode. I mean, her accusations about Kelsey having alcoholic tendencies and being a pill popper, and she didn't back down.
Yeah, she didn't.
What is she not understanding?
I think maybe, I feel like she was really just hardcore defending herself after doing it on the show, watching it on the show, and then there's sort of a point of no return where you're like, well, this is where I'm going to die on this hill.
That's kind of it, right?
And so I think that's sort of where, I did really enjoy her, sort of like eye rolls and stuff every time. Like, she was giving it her all, even when she wasn't talking.
Well, and the editors loved her for it.
Yes.
Because they couldn't show her enough in every reaction, like, please.
She probably had like her own camera on her because they were like, just get it all.
Most memes ever out of one episode of The Bachelor.
Yep.
Kelsey is someone that we tracked along with. She had her moments where it seemed like things were going kind of off the rails during the season. I felt like this was redeemable for her on the Women Tell All. She was in the hot seat with Chris. Of course, Champagne Gate was discussed more than it needed to be, but it was. Has she redeemed herself? What do you think, Kelsey?
I think so. When people were talking about her for The Bachelorette, I was like, perhaps not. That was. But I want to watch a whole season of Kelsey and her own quest for love and whatnot. But I've done those things in life where you're ooh, I overreacted to that. It just didn't get filmed for television.
Well, and I like that she owned up to everything. Like, from the start, she's been like, yes, I'm emotional. What of it? And I was like, go girl, because again, like, we all cry. Yeah. We just don't all do it on national television.
She also said, yes, I was drinking. And like,
I never claimed to be so.
I thought she came across so well.
I did too.
I really loved watching her on it. Victoria F then pulled up to the hot seat. They asked her about her questionable behavior, possibly breaking up these marriages, which she denied, said absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, do you think this show just brought out the worst in Victoria? What were your thoughts on this, Patty?
I guess. I mean, the thing is that Victoria didn't actually do anything on the show. That's the crazy part. It was all of her outside life stuff that came to get her. So I think if none of that had happened, we would have a very different view of Victoria. Even like, just, because there was the whole controversy with the Cosmo cover shoot that they never even dived into,
it was a whole
which I don't
separate
blame
thing.
them. That's a whole new box of worms. But it was so much for outside. So then you question as a viewer, you're like, okay, if there's this saying she's broken up relationships, this saying she's like modeling for very questionable, companies. It's like, so what is it? What is it about her?
Yeah.
But I think she would have just been portrayed as like kind of like a pretty normal girl, had none of that.
Also, why didn't she just, when she's in the front yard with Peter, say, I didn't do any of that? right? She said it that night, but Women Tell All she said it, but not that night, or at least we didn't see her say it that night.
I think that's when her age shows maybe that like she just doesn't have like the emotional maturity to have those conversations.
So then Peter came out during Women Tell All, takes the hot seat, lots of comments, lots of things going on. One of the things they sort of stuck it to him about was how he seemed to reward drama. Right? We talked a lot about this. Unless a woman's in tears, he's not going to
That's his love language.
Right? That was his love language. That's what you said. His love language is a woman in tears. Jody, how did he handle the hot seat?
I mean, I think he handled it fine. I was actually a little disappointed with how easy they let him off. Like, they were like, you rewarded the drama, but also thank you so much. We really enjoyed our time. I was like, guys, like, that's kind of your ex-boyfriend. Right?
Yeah.
Like, let him have it a little bit.
Right.
So I thought he got away pretty easy.
Yeah, they were meaner to each other than they were to him. Like,
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, now the finale's next week. I'm so excited. Chris Harrison says that Peter doesn't even know how it's gonna end. So what do you think this means?
That must mean that he hasn't picked anyone yet, right? Or that they both leave and he has no options?
Or
that sounds
this
terrible.
I kind of have a little bit of a
before.
theory. I think maybe he leaves with somebody but doesn't propose, and maybe we're gonna get a proposal during after the final rose.
Oh, with someone else?
No, I think with whoever he leaves with.
Got
but like maybe they left on rocky terms.
So that'll be live.
Madison,
So that'll be live, and we don't know where it goes.
Yeah, and we don't know if she's going to accept the proposal or what.
And then
That's
Madison's
what I
dad will be in the audience with a big shake of the head, like, don't do it.
All right, we're taking another look at our question of the day. We want to know who you think Peter's mom is talking about when she begs him to bring her home. Let's take a look at the results. I think Madison too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think meeting her so early on really sort of like.
I mean, I've been waiting to see that scene.
Yes.
The whole
we all
season.
have. It's the fence jump of this season.
Yes.
Like, we're just like, who is she crying
Please
about?
don't let it be as disappointing as the fence jump.
I know.
How mad or happy would we be if Hannah B strolled in and he was like, yep.
It's not gonna happen.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that if that happened. She was living in his head the whole time.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
All right, we're going to be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now. We're going to fight about this as we move on. Tune in for that. Coming up tomorrow, we are joined live by rising comedy star Taylor Tomlinson. She has an upcoming Netflix comedy special. It's called Quarter Life Crisis.
We've all been there. Plus, we're talking with country singer Ryan Hurd all about his headlining tour called Platonic. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from the stars of Standing Up, Falling Down. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey, I'm Ben Schwartz.
And I'm Billy Crystal.
And this is One Last Thing. Last time I got starstruck was I met Stevie Wonder. And Don Cheadle had introduced me to him. And he's going around and Stevie's shaking people's hands. And Don goes up to him and goes, "This is my friend Ben." And he goes, "Hey, Matt, how are you?" I go, "Doing very well, thank you, Stevie."
The last time I got starstruck, I got a phone call from Ted Williams. My wife tracked him down, and the last man to hit 400 called me on the phone to say happy birthday.
The last big splurge I had was to pay insurance on the Lamborghini that Billy got me.
My last moment of bliss was very recent, was last night. We had a great appearance together on the Corn show.
Yeah.
And when you connect live and it happens, and it feels great, that was blissful to me.